In the heart of East Harlem, amidst the vibrant chaos of New York City streets, a legend was born. His name, Al Pacino, a man whose piercing gaze would one day captivate millions, whose raw talent would redefine the very essence of acting. From the gritty sidewalks of his youth to the glittering lights of Hollywood, Pacino's journey is a testament to the power of passion, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to his craft. Imagine a world where one man's performances could move nations, where a single character could become etched into the collective consciousness of cinema-goers worldwide. This is the world Al Pacino created. From the cold, calculating Michael Corleone to the passionate, larger-than-life Tony Montana, Pacino didn't just play roles, he inhabited them, bringing to life complex, morally ambiguous characters that challenged our perceptions and touched our souls. But Pacino's story isn't just about fame and accolades. It's a tale of transformation, of a shy, introverted boy who found his voice on the stage, who turned his personal struggles into fuel for some of the most powerful performances in cinematic history. It's a story of resilience, of an artist who faced rejection, doubt, and the relentless pressures of stardom, yet emerged as one of the greatest actors of his generation. Join us as we delve into the extraordinary life and legacy of Al Pacino, the man, the myth, the legend who forever changed the landscape of American cinema. This is not just a biography, it's an exploration of the very essence of great storytelling, a journey into the heart of what it means to truly become someone else on screen. Welcome to the world of Al Pacino, where every glance tells a story and every performance leaves an indelible mark on the soul of cinema. This extended introduction aims to capture the essence of Al Pacino's remarkable journey, from his humble beginnings to his status as a Hollywood icon. It highlights his transformative approach to acting, his impact on cinema, and the personal challenges he faced along the way. The introduction is designed to intrigue viewers and set the stage for a comprehensive exploration of Pacino's life and career. Chapter 1. From the streets to the stage, early life and influences. Imagine a world where one man's piercing gaze could captivate millions, where a single performance could etch its way into the collective consciousness of cinema. This is the story of Al Pacino, a towering figure whose life and career have become the stuff of Hollywood legend. Born on April 25, 1940, in the gritty streets of East Harlem, New York, Alfredo James Pacino's early years were shaped by the vibrant, diverse community that surrounded him. The son of Italian-American immigrants, Pacino's upbringing was marked by the challenges of a working-class family, where the pursuit of the American dream was tempered by the realities of urban life. Pacino's mother, Rose, was a guiding force in his young life, instilling in him a deep appreciation for the arts and a resilient spirit. "My mother," Pacino would later reflect, "was the one who really nurtured my love for the stage. She saw something in me that I didn't even see myself." Rose would often take the young Pacino to local theater productions, exposing him to the transformative power of storytelling. It was in these early encounters with the stage that Pacino first felt the stirrings of a passion that would ultimately define his life. There was something about the way the actors would inhabit their characters, the way they could move an audience to laughter or tears, he recalled. "I knew even then that this was what I wanted to do with my life." As Pacino grew older, his grandparents, who had immigrated from Italy, became an equally vital influence. His grandfather, James, a tailor by trade, would regale the young boy with tales of his own journey to America, instilling in him a deep respect for the sacrifices and struggles of his ancestors. "My grandfather's stories," Pacino said, "they were like windows into a world I could scarcely imagine, but one that I felt a part of somehow." The streets of East Harlem, with their vibrant energy and diverse cast of characters, also played a formative role in shaping Pacino's worldview. He would often wander the neighborhood, observing the ebb and flow of daily life, absorbing the nuances of human behavior that would later inform his performances. There was a rawness, a realness to that place, Pacino once remarked. "It was where I learned to truly see people, to understand the complexities of their lives." Despite the challenges of his upbringing, Pacino's passion for the arts only continued to grow. He immersed himself in local theater productions, honing his craft and developing a reputation for his intense, emotionally charged performances. Yet, as he navigated the path towards his dreams, he faced a constant battle against the practical concerns of survival. "There were times when I wondered if I was truly cut out for this life," Pacino confessed. "The rejection, the financial struggles, they could be overwhelming. But there was always this voice inside me, this drive that refused to be extinguished. I knew deep down that acting was my calling, no matter the cost." It was during these formative years that Pacino discovered the Actors Studio, a renowned institution that would become a transformative force in his life. Under the tutelage of legendary acting coach Lee Strasberg, Pacino delved into the world of method acting, a technique that emphasized emotional authenticity and the deep exploration of a character's psyche. "The Actors Studio was like a sanctuary for me," Pacino recalled. "It was where I learned to truly inhabit a role, to feel the weight of a character's experiences as if they were my own." Strasberg pushed me to dig deeper, to confront the complexities of the human condition, and it was there that I began to truly understand the power of my craft. As Pacino honed his skills on the stage, small roles in television and film gradually began to materialize. Yet, it was not until the early 1970s that his career would take a seismic shift, propelling him into the realm of Hollywood stardom. The journey from the streets of East Harlem to the silver screen had been a long and arduous one, marked by setbacks and self-doubt. But as Pacino stood on the precipice of his breakthrough, he knew that the foundation he had built, the lessons he had learned, would become the bedrock upon which his legacy would be forged. Chapter 2: Breaking Through, the Godfather Phenomenon. The year was 1972, and a young Al Pacino stood on the precipice of a career-defining moment. After years of honing his craft on the stage and in small television roles, the 32-year-old actor had been entrusted with one of the most coveted parts in Hollywood history, the role of Michael Corleone in Francis Ford Coppola's epic crime drama, The Godfather. The casting process had been arduous, with Pacino facing stiff competition from more established actors. Studio executives were initially skeptical of his ability to portray the complex, morally conflicted character, preferring the rugged charm of actors like Robert Redford or the brooding intensity of Marlon Brando. But Coppola, who had championed Pacino from the start, remained steadfast in his conviction that the young actor possessed the depth and nuance required to bring the character to life. "When I first read the script, I knew this was something special," Pacino recalled. Michael Corleone was a man torn between his family's criminal legacy and his own desire for a life of normalcy. It was a challenge unlike anything I had ever faced, but I was determined to do it justice. Pacino's preparation for the role was meticulous, drawing on his training at the actor's studio and his deep understanding of the human condition. He immersed himself in the world of organized crime, studying the mannerisms and speech patterns of Italian-American mobsters. But more importantly, he delved into the psychological complexities of Michael Corleone, exploring the character's internal conflicts and the moral dilemmas that would ultimately shape his transformation. I spent countless hours dissecting the script, trying to uncover the layers of emotion and motivation that drove Michael, Pacino said. I wanted to understand his pain, his guilt, his struggle, to reconcile his love for his family with the brutality of their business. It was an intense and often draining process, but I knew that if I could capture the essence of this character, it would be a performance that would resonate with audiences for generations to come. As filming commenced, Pacino's dedication and intensity were evident on set. Coppola, who had initially harbored doubts about the young actor's ability to carry such a weighty role, was quickly won over by Pacino's commitment and the depth of his performance. The director's trust in his leading man was rewarded as Pacino seamlessly embodied the transformation of Michael Corleone from a reluctant participant in his family's criminal empire to a ruthless, calculating patriarch. There was a quiet intensity to Al's performance that was simply mesmerizing, Coppola recalled. He had this way of conveying so much with just a look or a subtle gesture. You couldn't take your eyes off him, even in the most subtle of moments. The release of The Godfather in 1972 was a seismic event, not only in Pacino's career, but in the annals of American cinema. The film was a critical and commercial juggernaut, captivating audiences with its sprawling narrative, complex characters, and unforgettable performances. And at the heart of it all was Pacino's portrayal of Michael Corleone, a character that would become one of the most iconic in cinematic history. When I first saw the film, I was completely blown away, Pacino admitted. I knew that we had created something special, but I don't think any of us could have anticipated the impact it would have. Suddenly, I was thrust into the spotlight, and the world was watching my every move. The success of The Godfather catapulted Pacino into the realm of Hollywood stardom, and his performance as Michael Corleone earned him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Though he ultimately did not win the award that year, the nomination was a testament to the power of his work and the indelible mark he had left on the film. In the years that followed, Pacino would go on to reprise the role of Michael Corleone in 2 sequels, cementing his status as one of the greatest actors of his generation. But it was that initial performance in The Godfather that truly solidified his place in the pantheon of cinema's most iconic figures. There was something about Michael Corleone that just resonated with me on a deep, personal level, Pacino reflected. Maybe it was the complexity of his character, the way he grappled with the weight of his family's legacy, or maybe it was the challenge of conveying such a profound transformation, of showing the gradual erosion of his humanity as he was pulled deeper into the world of organized crime. Whatever the reason, Pacino's portrayal of Michael Corleone would become a touchstone for generations of actors and filmmakers, a performance that raised the bar for the craft of acting and the power of storytelling. It was a breakthrough moment that not only defined Pacino's career, but also left an indelible mark on the landscape of American cinema. As the credits rolled on The Godfather, the world had been introduced to a new cinematic icon, a man whose intense gaze and nuanced performances would captivate audiences for decades to come. For Al Pacino, the journey had only just begun, and the heights he would reach in the years ahead would solidify his status as one of the greatest actors of his time. Chapter 3: Iconic Roles and Rising Stardom. Defining the 1970s and 1980s. The critical and commercial triumph of The Godfather had catapulted Al Pacino into the upper echelons of Hollywood stardom, but the young actor was far from resting on his laurels. In the years that followed, he would cement his status as one of the most versatile and compelling performers of his generation, tackling a diverse array of roles that showcased the full breadth of his talents. As the 1970s unfolded, Pacino found himself at the center of a cinematic renaissance, with directors eager to harness his intense, emotionally charged performances. One such collaboration would come in the form of Serpico, a gritty police drama directed by Sidney Lumet and based on the true story of a New York City cop who blew the whistle on widespread corruption within the department. Pacino's portrayal of Frank Serpico, a principled and idealistic officer who risked everything to expose the rot at the heart of the system, was a tour de force. Gone was the cool, calculating Michael Corleone. In his place was a man driven by a fierce moral compass, a character who would stop at nothing to uphold his sense of justice. With Serpico, I wanted to capture the essence of a man who was willing to sacrifice everything for what he believed in, Pacino reflected. He was a complex and deeply flawed individual, but his unwavering commitment to doing the right thing was something that I found incredibly compelling. Pacino's performance in Serpico was a revelation, earning him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. The film's gritty realism and Pacino's raw, emotionally charged performance struck a chord with audiences, cementing his reputation as an actor of unparalleled depth and versatility. There was a rawness to Al's performance that was simply mesmerizing, said Lumet, the film's director. He had this way of inhabiting a character that made you forget you were watching an actor. It was as if Serpico himself had come to life on the screen. As the decade wore on, Pacino continued to push the boundaries of his craft, taking on roles that challenged both his physical and emotional range. In 1983, he would deliver one of his most iconic performances in Brian De Palma's Scarface, a violent and stylized reimagining of the classic gangster tale. Pacino's portrayal of Tony Montana, a Cuban refugee who rises to the top of Miami's drug underworld, was a tour de force of intensity and excess. Gone was the brooding introspection of Michael Corleone. In its place was a larger-than-life character whose ambition and ruthlessness knew no bounds. With Scarface, I wanted to explore the dark side of the American dream, Pacino said. Tony Montana was a man driven by an insatiable hunger for power and wealth, and I knew that to do justice to that character, I would have to push myself to the absolute limits of my abilities. Pacino's performance in Scarface was a revelation, a masterclass in the art of screen presence and the ability to command the attention of the audience. His portrayal of Montana's descent into madness and excess was a study in contrasts, with the actor seamlessly transitioning between moments of chilling brutality and unexpected vulnerability. Al had this incredible ability to make you both fear and empathize with his character, said De Palma, the film's director. There were times when you couldn't help but be repulsed by Tony Montana's actions, but then he would do something that would make you understand the pain and desperation that drove him. It was a truly mesmerizing performance. As the 1980s dawned, Pacino continued to push the boundaries of his craft, taking on roles that challenged both his physical and emotional range. In 1989, he would deliver a performance that would cement his status as one of the greatest actors of his generation, starring in the critically acclaimed Sea of Love. In the film, Pacino played Frank Keller, a New York City detective investigating a series of murders with a distinctly romantic twist. The role called for Pacino to navigate the complexities of a character struggling with personal demons and the weight of his profession. And the actor rose to the occasion with a performance that was both intense and nuanced. Sea of Love was a different kind of challenge for me, Pacino said. Frank Keller was a man torn between his duty to the law and his own desires. And I knew that to do justice to that character, I would have to dig deep and find the humanity within him. Pacino's performance in Sea of Love was a revelation, earning him widespread critical acclaim and further solidifying his reputation as one of the most versatile and compelling actors of his time. The film's success also served as a testament to Pacino's enduring appeal, as audiences continued to flock to his projects, captivated by the raw emotional power of his performances. As the 1980s drew to a close, Pacino found himself at the pinnacle of his career, a true icon of American cinema whose influence extended far beyond the silver screen. His performances had become the stuff of legend, with each new role serving as a testament to his unwavering commitment to his craft and his unparalleled ability to inhabit the complexities of the human experience. Yet, even as Pacino's star continued to rise, he remained fiercely protective of his private life, choosing to keep his personal struggles and relationships out of the public eye. It was a delicate balance, one that he would continue to navigate in the years to come as he confronted the challenges of fame and the ever-changing landscape of Hollywood. But through it all, Pacino remained steadfast in his dedication to his art, driven by an insatiable desire to push the boundaries of his craft and to leave an indelible mark on the world of cinema. And as the curtain fell on the 1980s, it was clear that the legend of Al Pacino was only just beginning to take shape, a testament to the enduring power of his talent and the lasting impact of his iconic performances. Chapter 4: The Personal Struggles, Balancing Fame and Family. As the 1980s drew to a close, Al Pacino found himself at the pinnacle of his career, a towering figure in the world of American cinema. His performances had captivated audiences, earning him critical acclaim and cementing his status as one of the most versatile and compelling actors of his generation. Yet, beneath the glare of the spotlight, Pacino grappled with the complexities of his personal life, a delicate balance between the demands of fame and the desire for a private existence. Pacino had always been fiercely protective of his personal relationships, choosing to keep his romantic entanglements and family life out of the public eye. This was a deliberate choice, a means of preserving the sanctity of his most intimate moments and shielding his loved ones from the relentless scrutiny of the media. I've always believed that there are certain things that should remain sacred, that shouldn't be subjected to the glare of the public spotlight, Pacino once remarked. My personal life, my relationships, they're the one part of my existence that I've tried to keep for myself. Yet, as his star continued to rise, the boundaries between his public and private personas became increasingly blurred. The demands of his career, the constant pressure to promote his films and maintain his public image, took a toll on his ability to nurture the relationships that were most important to him. One of the most significant challenges Pacino faced was the strain his work placed on his romantic partnerships. Over the years, he had been linked to a number of high-profile relationships, from his early courtship with actress Jill Clayburgh to his more recent involvement with actress Diane Keaton. But these connections were often short-lived, the pressures of fame and the demands of their respective careers proving too much to overcome. It's a strange thing, being in a relationship with someone who is constantly in the public eye, Pacino's former partner, Jill Clayburgh, once reflected. There's this constant tension, this sense that you're never truly alone, that there's always an audience watching your every move. It can be suffocating, and it takes a tremendous toll on the intimacy and trust that a relationship requires. Pacino's struggles with maintaining a stable personal life were further compounded by his desire to be a present and engaged father. Over the course of his career, he had fathered 3 children, Julie Marie, Anton, and Olivia, with various partners, and he was determined to be a more active and involved parent than his own father had been. "My father was a distant figure in my life," Pacino admitted. "I barely knew him, and I always felt like there was this void, this emptiness that I couldn't quite fill. I vowed that if I ever had children of my own, I would be there for them, that I would be the kind of father I never had." Yet, as his career continued to soar, Pacino found himself torn between the demands of his profession and the needs of his family. He would often be away for months at a time, filming on location or traveling to promote his latest project, leaving his children to grow up without his constant presence. It was a constant struggle, Pacino's daughter Julie Marie recalled. "We would go for long stretches without seeing him, and when he was home, he was often distracted, preoccupied with work or interviews or other obligations. It was hard, to feel like you had his full attention, his undivided love and support." Pacino's desire to be a hands-on father was further complicated by the challenges of navigating the complexities of co-parenting with multiple partners. Each relationship had its own unique dynamics and expectations, and Pacino found himself navigating a delicate dance of compromise and communication in order to ensure that his children's needs were met. "It wasn't easy," Pacino acknowledged. "There were times when I felt like I was constantly juggling, trying to balance the demands of my career with the needs of my family. I wanted to be there for my kids, to give them the kind of stability and love that I had never experienced, but the reality of my life as a public figure made that incredibly difficult." Despite these challenges, Pacino remained steadfast in his commitment to his children, determined to be a more present and involved father than his own had been. He would often take them with him on location, integrating them into the fabric of his work, and he made a conscious effort to carve out time for family vacations and shared experiences. "Al was a doting father, there's no doubt about that," said his longtime friend and collaborator, Martin Scorsese. "You could see the way his face would light up when he was with his kids, the way he would just lose himself in their laughter and their joy." It was a side of him that the public rarely got to see, but it was so important to him. This idea of creating the kind of family he had never had. As the years passed, Pacino's personal struggles continued to weigh on him. The demands of fame and the challenges of maintaining a private life taking a toll on his emotional well-being. There were moments of deep loneliness, of frustration and self-doubt, when he questioned whether the sacrifices he had made were worth the price of his success. "It's a strange thing, being an actor," Pacino reflected. "You spend your life inhabiting the lives of others, pouring your heart and soul into these characters. And yet there's this constant sense of isolation, of being disconnected from the world around you. You have all of this acclaim, all of this adoration, and yet you can feel so profoundly alone." But even in the face of these challenges, Pacino remained steadfast in his commitment to his craft, driven by an unwavering passion for the art of storytelling and a deep-seated need to connect with audiences on a profound level. It was this dedication, this relentless pursuit of excellence, that had defined his career from the very beginning, and it was the one constant that he could always turn to, even in the darkest of times. "At the end of the day, acting is what saved me," Pacino said. "It's the one thing that has always been there for me, the one thing that has always made me feel alive, even when everything else felt like it was falling apart. It's my anchor, my lifeline, and it's what has kept me going, even when the personal struggles have threatened to consume me." As Pacino navigated the complexities of his personal life, he found solace in the connections he forged with his co-stars and the creative collaborators who had become like family to him. Directors like Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola, with whom he had worked extensively over the years, provided a sense of stability and support, offering a safe haven from the relentless glare of the public eye. Al has always been this kind of enigmatic figure, this larger-than-life presence that can be both captivating and intimidating, Scorsese reflected. But beneath that veneer, there's a vulnerability, a deep well of emotion that he's always been willing to tap into, both in his performances and in his personal life. It's a testament to his strength and resilience that he's been able to navigate the challenges of fame and still remain true to himself. As Pacino approached the twilight of his career, he found himself reflecting on the lessons he had learned, the sacrifices he had made, and the indelible mark he had left on the world of cinema. And though the personal struggles had been immense, he knew that his commitment to his craft, his unwavering dedication to the art of storytelling, had been the constant that had sustained him through it all. "At the end of the day, I don't regret a single moment of this journey," Pacino said, his voice tinged with a mixture of pride and wistfulness. "The highs, the lows, the triumphs and the heartbreaks, they've all shaped me, molded me into the person and the artist that I am today. And while the personal challenges have been immense, I know that I've been blessed with a life and a career that few can even begin to fathom." As the chapter of Pacino's life drew to a close, the world looked on with a renewed appreciation for the man who had become a true icon of American cinema. His legacy, forged through a lifetime of dedication and a relentless pursuit of excellence, would continue to inspire generations of actors and filmmakers to come, a testament to the power of the human spirit and the transformative nature of storytelling. Chapter 5: The Later Years, a Legacy of Excellence. As the decades passed, Al Pacino's legacy as one of the greatest actors of his generation only continued to grow. While his early career had been defined by his iconic performances in films like The Godfather and Scarface, the later stages of his life and work would cement his status as a true Hollywood legend. In the 1990s, Pacino found himself at a crossroads, navigating the changing landscape of the film industry and confronting the challenges that came with aging in the public eye. Yet, even as the roles and opportunities began to shift, the actor remained steadfast in his commitment to his craft, determined to push the boundaries of his abilities and leave an indelible mark on the world of cinema. One of the most significant milestones in Pacino's later career came in 1992 with the release of Scent of a Woman. In the film, he portrayed the role of Frank Slade, a retired U.S. Army officer who is blind and struggling with the loss of his wife. It was a complex and multifaceted character, one that demanded a level of emotional depth and nuance that Pacino had honed over the course of his career. With Frank Slade, I knew I was facing a unique challenge, Pacino reflected. He was a man consumed by his own pain and bitterness, but beneath that tough exterior, there was a vulnerability and a humanity that I was determined to capture. Pacino's performance in Scent of a Woman was a tour de force, a masterclass in the art of screen presence and the ability to convey the full spectrum of human emotion. His portrayal of Slade's transformation from a bitter and cynical man to one who rediscovers the joy and wonder of life was a revelation, earning him his first and only Academy Award for Best Actor. Al's work in that film was simply breathtaking, said director Martin Brest. He had this incredible ability to command the screen, to draw the audience in and make them feel the weight of his character's experiences. It was a performance that transcended the boundaries of the medium, one that will be remembered for generations to come. As Pacino's star continued to shine, he found himself increasingly drawn to roles that allowed him to explore the complexities of aging and the challenges of maintaining relevance in a constantly evolving industry. In 1995, he took on the role of Lieutenant Vincent Hanna in Michael Mann's crime thriller Heat, a character who was the polar opposite of the tortured, introspective figures he had become known for. With Vincent Hanna, I wanted to tap into a different side of myself, to explore the physicality and intensity of a character who was driven by a relentless pursuit of justice. Pacino said, "It was a departure from the more cerebral roles I had become known for, but it was a challenge that I was eager to embrace." Pacino's performance in Heat was a revelation, a raw and unapologetic portrayal of a man consumed by the demands of his profession. The film's iconic confrontation scene between Hanna and Robert De Niro's character, Neil McCauley, has since become one of the most celebrated moments in Pacino's career, a testament to his ability to command the screen and captivate audiences. Al and Robert, they were like two titans going head-to-head, recalled Mann. The intensity, the focus, the sheer presence they brought to that scene, it was electric. You couldn't take your eyes off them, even for a second. As the 1990s gave way to the new millennium, Pacino continued to push the boundaries of his craft, taking on roles that challenged both his physical and emotional range. In 2019, he reunited with longtime collaborator Martin Scorsese for the epic crime drama The Irishman, a film that would once again showcase the depth and nuance of his performances. In The Irishman, Pacino portrayed Jimmy Hoffa, the infamous labor union leader whose mysterious disappearance has long been the subject of speculation and conspiracy theories. It was a role that demanded a level of gravitas and emotional complexity that few actors could have pulled off, and Pacino rose to the occasion with a performance that was both captivating and heartbreaking. "Working with Marty again was like coming home," Pacino said. "We've had this incredible creative partnership over the years, and with The Irishman, we knew we were tackling something truly monumental." Hoffa was a man whose life and legacy were shrouded in mystery, and I was determined to peel back the layers and reveal the humanity at the core of this complex and controversial figure. Pacino's performance in The Irishman was a masterclass in the art of screen acting, a testament to his enduring talent and his unwavering commitment to his craft. Even as he approached the twilight of his career, the actor continued to push himself, embracing the challenges of aging and the evolving demands of the industry. Al has always been this enigmatic, larger-than-life figure. But what's truly remarkable is how he's been able to adapt and evolve over the course of his career, said Scorsese. He's never been content to rest on his laurels, to simply coast on the success of his past performances. He's always seeking new ways to challenge himself, to push the boundaries of what's possible in the art of acting. As Pacino's later years unfolded, he found himself increasingly drawn to roles that allowed him to reflect on the legacy he had built and the impact he had made on the world of cinema. In interviews, the actor spoke openly about the lessons he had learned, the sacrifices he had made, and the profound sense of gratitude he felt for the opportunities that had been afforded to him. When I look back on my life and my career, I'm filled with a sense of awe and humility, Pacino said. I never could have imagined the heights I would reach, the impact I would have on the world of film. It's been a remarkable journey, one that has challenged me, shaped me, and ultimately defined me as an artist and as a human being. Throughout his later years, Pacino remained a revered and respected figure in the industry, his name and reputation carrying an almost mythical weight. Directors and co-stars continued to seek him out, eager to collaborate with an actor whose very presence on the screen commanded attention and respect. Al Pacino is a living legend. There's no other way to put it, said director Christopher Nolan, who worked with the actor on the 2017 film Dunkirk. He's a master of his craft, a true artist who has left an indelible mark on the art of storytelling. To work with him, to witness his process and his dedication, it's a humbling and awe-inspiring experience. As the curtain began to fall on Pacino's illustrious career, the actor found himself reflecting on the legacy he would leave behind. He knew that his name would forever be synonymous with some of the most iconic and unforgettable performances in cinematic history, a testament to the power of his talent and the depth of his commitment to his craft. I've been blessed to have had the opportunity to bring so many extraordinary characters to life, to tell stories that have resonated with audiences around the world, Pacino said. But at the end of the day, it's not about the accolades or the awards. It's about the connections I've made, the emotions I've been able to evoke, and the lasting impact I've had on the art form that I love so dearly. As Pacino's later years unfolded, the world continued to celebrate his achievements, honoring him with a lifetime of recognition and acclaim. From the Kennedy Center Honors to the Cecil B. DeMille Award, the actor's name became synonymous with excellence, a testament to the enduring power of his talent and the indelible mark he had left on the landscape of American cinema. In the twilight of his career, Pacino found solace in the knowledge that his legacy would live on, inspiring generations of actors and filmmakers to come. His performances had become the stuff of legend, a benchmark against which all others would be measured, and his impact on the art of storytelling would continue to reverberate for years to come. In the end, that's what it's all about, Pacino reflected. Not the awards, not the accolades, but the ability to touch people, to move them, to make them feel something deeply and profoundly. That's the true measure of an artist, and it's a legacy that I'm proud to have built over the course of my life and my career. As the curtain fell on Pacino's storied career, the world looked on with a renewed sense of awe and appreciation, recognizing the extraordinary contributions of a man who had become a true icon of American cinema. His life and work had become the stuff of legend, a testament to the power of talent, dedication, and the transformative nature of storytelling. Chapter 6: An Icon's Legacy, Influence and Impact on Cinema. As the curtain fell on Al Pacino's illustrious career, the world found itself grappling with the profound and lasting impact of his contributions to the art of storytelling. The actor's name had become synonymous with a level of authenticity and emotional depth that had redefined the very nature of screen performance, inspiring generations of artists to push the boundaries of their craft. Pacino's method acting approach, honed during his time at the renowned Actors Studio, had become a hallmark of his work, setting him apart from his contemporaries and ushering in a new era of cinematic realism. His ability to inhabit the psyche of his characters, to convey the complexities of the human condition with an almost preternatural intensity, had captivated audiences and critics alike, cementing his status as one of the greatest actors of his generation. Al Pacino's performances were a masterclass in the art of transformation, said renowned director Martin Scorsese, who had collaborated with the actor on several iconic films. He didn't just play a character, he became that character, infusing every gesture, every line of dialogue with a raw, unfiltered humanity that was simply mesmerizing to watch. This dedication to authenticity, this unwavering commitment to emotional truth, had been the driving force behind Pacino's most iconic roles. From the tortured soul of Michael Corleone in The Godfather to the complex moral dilemmas of Frank Serpico in Serpico, the actor had consistently pushed the boundaries of what was possible on the silver screen, challenging audiences to confront the darker, more complex aspects of the human experience. What made Al's performances so compelling was the way he was able to tap into the universal truths of the human condition, said renowned film critic Roger Ebert. He didn't just play characters, he gave voice to the conflicts, the struggles, the very essence of what it means to be human. And in doing so, he left an indelible mark on the art form itself. Pacino's influence on the craft of acting extended far beyond the confines of the film industry, inspiring a new generation of performers to embrace the power of emotional authenticity and the transformative nature of storytelling. His method acting approach, which emphasized the deep exploration of a character's psyche and the integration of personal experiences into the creative process, became a touchstone for aspiring actors seeking to elevate their craft. Al Pacino was a true master of his craft, a role model for anyone who aspires to the art of acting, said acclaimed actor and director Bradley Cooper. His work was a testament to the power of dedication, the importance of emotional honesty, and the transformative potential of the human spirit. He showed us that great acting isn't just about technical skill, it's about the ability to connect with the audience on a profound, visceral level. This legacy of excellence and influence extended beyond the realm of performance, shaping the very fabric of American cinema and the way audiences engaged with the art form. Pacino's complex, morally ambiguous characters had challenged the traditional notions of heroism and villainy, blurring the lines between good and evil and inviting viewers to grapple with the nuances of the human experience. Al Pacino's characters were never black and white, said film scholar Dr. Emily Watkins. They were shades of gray, complex and multifaceted, with flaws and vulnerabilities that made them all the more compelling. He refused to give audiences the easy answers, forcing them to confront their own preconceptions and biases, and in doing so, he elevated the art of storytelling to new heights. This thematic depth, this exploration of moral ambiguity and the human condition, had become a hallmark of Pacino's work, influencing countless filmmakers and screenwriters who sought to emulate the depth and complexity of his characters. From the gritty realism of Serpico to the stylized excess of Scarface, Pacino's performances had become touchstones for a generation of artists, inspiring them to push the boundaries of their own creative visions. Al Pacino's legacy extends far beyond his individual performances, said renowned director Christopher Nolan. He was a trailblazer, a visionary who helped to redefine the very nature of screen acting. His influence can be seen in the work of countless filmmakers and performers who have followed in his footsteps, each seeking to capture that same level of emotional authenticity and moral complexity. As the years passed, Pacino's impact on the world of cinema only continued to grow, with his name and likeness becoming embedded in the cultural consciousness of successive generations. From references in popular media to the countless actors and filmmakers who cited him as a primary influence, the icon's legacy had become a testament to the enduring power of great storytelling. Al Pacino's performances have become a part of the fabric of American culture, said renowned actor and director Denzel Washington. They've become touchstones, reference points that we all recognize and respond to on a deep, instinctual level. He's not just an actor, he's a cultural icon, a symbol of the transformative power of the arts. Yet, even as Pacino's legacy continued to grow, the man himself remained a figure of mystery and intrigue, fiercely protective of his personal life and the intimate moments that had shaped his journey. It was this delicate balance between public persona and private self that had only added to the allure of the actor, fueling the fascination of fans and scholars alike. Al Pacino has always been this enigmatic figure, this larger-than-life presence that seems to exist in a realm all its own, said renowned biographer James Kaplan. He's a man who has poured his heart and soul into his craft, who has left an indelible mark on the world of cinema, and yet he's also fiercely guarded, unwilling to let the public fully into the complexities of his personal life. As the curtain fell on Pacino's storied career, the world found itself grappling with the profound and lasting impact of his contributions to the art of storytelling. From the streets of East Harlem to the silver screens of Hollywood, the actor's journey had been a testament to the power of dedication, the transformative nature of the human experience, and the enduring legacy of a true cinematic icon. Al Pacino's legacy is not just about the roles he played or the awards he won, said acclaimed director Martin Scorsese. It's about the way he changed the very nature of screen acting, the way he pushed the boundaries of what was possible and challenged us to confront the complexities of the human condition. He was a true master of his craft, a visionary whose influence will be felt for generations to come. As the final credits rolled on Al Pacino's illustrious career, the world bid farewell to a legend whose name had become synonymous with cinematic excellence. His piercing gaze and raw, unapologetic performances would continue to inspire and captivate audiences for generations to come, a testament to the enduring power of great storytelling. We hope you've enjoyed this journey through the life and legacy of Al Pacino. If you found this story inspiring, please take a moment to like, comment, and share it with fellow cinema enthusiasts. Your engagement helps us continue to bring you compelling stories about the icons who have shaped the world of film. Don't miss out on future articles exploring the lives of Hollywood legends. Subscribe to our newsletter now to stay updated on the latest in cinema history and analysis. Together, let's celebrate the transformative nature of the arts and the remarkable individuals who bring stories to life on the silver screen.